Hey, what's going on YouTube? Randomhero here, and today we're going to be running through all of the weapons features in Warzone. That's both the Modern Warfare and Cold War weapons. We're going to be joined by Dan, aka OG Twigs. We give a bit of insight on what we think of each gun, and place them in a tier list to see where we think they fit currently in the meta. Hope you enjoy. If you do enjoy and want to help the channel, hit the thumbs up button, and if you do want to, hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much. And here we are with a big tier list. So, Dan, if you want to say hi to YouTube.
Hello YouTube.
Okay, so to start, we've got the CR56 AMAX. What are your thoughts on this gun?
It's a good gun, but with controller, it's a lot harder with recoil to control than what it is, obviously, with computer, with mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, agreed. With mouse and keyboard, this gun's a complete laser beam, and it hits hard.
Yeah, it totally hits hard, but it's the recoil on it with a keyboard it's totally different controller.
Yeah, you even have to change the kind of build from controller to mouse and keyboard to get it to be consistent. I mean, me personally, I would definitely S tier it straight off the bat.
Yeah, without a shadow of doubt. It's not uncontrollable.
The thing, realistically, you hit 6 bullets with it, you've got a kill.
Yeah.
And that's yeah. You can't.
Controller, you might just need to use 26.
Yeah, you got a 45 mag. That's 2 kills nearly.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so we've got our first S tier, straight in, starting strong.
Yeah.
From there, next up, we've got the Ram 7, or as I like to call it, Old Faithful.
Old Faithful.
Old Faithful. I used this fairly recently, and even with the current AUG FFAR meta, it still slaps.
Yeah, it always has slapped from season 1. Like, it's the gun in it.
It's the gun, but once again, you've got that tricky recoil. It's not very beginner friendly. Yeah, there's a lot of recoil control needed for it, but if you build it from close to mid-range like an SMG, you're going to win 9 out of 10 gunfights. If you build it for more long, like mid-range, and pair it with a HDR or something like that, you've still got a really strong gun.
I would say an A.
I reckon A tier. I think if you asked me 6 months ago, that would be an S tier, but I think with the current meta, it does drop down slightly.
It's not even in their league, is it?
No, like if you go Ram 7 FFAR close quarters, you're gonna get shit hecked on. AS Val.
It'd be a great gun if it had a decent mag.
Yeah, I think I don't personally get on with the AS Val, but people who do get on with it absolutely rip you up with it. I think for solos, absolutely. There's not many other ARs that I'd use. But for quads, nah.
For me personally, it's got to be a B at most.
B at most?
At most. Because the problem is, yeah, it's alright in solos, but anything more than a solos, and you're dead.
I think if it had a 50 round mag, it would automatically go into S tier.
Yep, without a shadow of a doubt.
But where you can take on one person and then you've got to reload, that's a time you're idle that you don't want.
Exactly.
Black Ops MP5.
Personally, I've not used it. So, a lot of people have said it's extremely good.
Yeah. Oh, it's strong.
But, and I've seen a lot of people slap with it.
Yeah, I think it's such a good gun. It's not got the same sort of hipfire build as the Modern Warfare MP5, but for the damage output and the fact it's got a 50 round on an SMG,
Yeah.
it does slap. I would be tempted to A tier it.
Yeah. From what I've seen, I'd say it's an A tier.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't quite keep up with like the FFAR or Mac 10.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that amount of stopping power, but for actual as an SMG, if you haven't got the Mac 10 leveled up and you want something that's, I think the MP5 is quite user friendly as well.
Yeah. The recoil's not too bad. Hip fire, you ain't. It's not just with the Mac 10, you don't get a lot of accuracy, whereas the MP5, it's quite a laser.
Yeah, especially even with the build that I used with no stock, when you ADS with it, there's near enough no recoil you have to try and work against. We've got the AUG next. I'm just going to put it right there.
Yeah, it's not even worth, meta.
This is post nerf 1 that we're recording this video. It still slaps. You can still kill someone in 2 bursts. The recoil increase they've given it doesn't really matter because it's a burst weapon.
What the AUG reminds me of is how many times did they have to nerf the 725?
What are we talking within the first season or in the entire game?
Yeah. What was it? 8?
Something stupid like that. It's basically DMR 2.0, but without the sniper bullet.
The thing is, the DMR, when it was meta, was just you could fight a DMR, you cannot fight an AUG.
I don't know, like pre even the first nerf on the DMR, that had sniper bullet penetration as well as that stopping power.
Yeah.
Like
when you got slapped with a DMR, you got slapped.
I think the biggest thing with the AUG is the amount of damage and how quick it does the damage. So if someone starts shooting you with an AMAX, you've got that slow sort of trickle down of your armour. So you know to go, oh, hang on 1 second, let's take cover. The AUG, you get hit once and you go, alright, I still got 2 plates. You get hit twice, you're down.
Yeah.
It's like you don't even get a second to think.
Exactly. Because the thing is, by the time you've been hit by the first one, you've turned around to look at where you're getting shot from, and you're down.
Yeah, it's done. Finished.
That's it. It's game over.
KSP 45. Now, I've not actually used this gun in Warzone.
No, I've not hit it in Warzone.
But I have used it in Cold War Zombies. And I feel...
How did you get on?
It's quite good in Zombies because it's a 1 burst kill. It's an SMG, which is a burst weapon.
Yeah.
For Warzone, I have not seen a single person running it, ever.
No.
And purely for that fact, I'm probably... Yeah, I'm going to stick with the F tier for that, I think. Unless you want to...
Yeah.
F it.
I'm happy with that.
That's a fairly quick one. Onto the Bullfrog. Now, I'm a big fan of the Bullfrog.
Yeah, I like the Bullfrog.
I like the Bullfrog. Would I rate it?
I wouldn't. The problem, what I'd do is put the AS Val in C. Yeah.
You want to drop the Val to a C?
Yeah, and then put the Bullfrog in a B. Because it's not in the same league as the RAM and the MP5. It's good.
But if I was to raise this, you can put like an 85 round mag on it.
Yeah.
You could wipe an entire squad and a half without having to reload, and it also has the highest headshot multiplier out of every SMG.
Yeah, I suppose I didn't think about that. But the thing is what if you stood there and said to people, what would you rather use, an MP5 or a Bullfrog? people are going to pick the MP5.
Possibly. I know we're being quite lenient if I do this, but I'd still maybe put it below the MP5 as an A tier.
Okay.
I mean, eventually we're going to have so many guns on this list that we might have to reshuffle as we go. So with that, we'll move on to the LC-10, the new Battle Pass weapon.
I like it.
I like it.
It doesn't slap
No.
where I thought it would. It was a disappointment for me personally.
Yeah, I mean, typically with the Battle Pass, you get one of the two weapons which is severely overpowered.
Yeah.
If you go back through all of the old Modern Warfare seasons and even the first Cold War season, there's always an overpowered weapon. The LC-10 hasn't stood out. I mean, how many people do you see running custom builds in Warzone with the LC?
Not many. Not many.
But that said, if you pick up the ground loot one and you get caught in a bit of a sticky situation, it does work.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, the ground loot one's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. Where are your thoughts on tier placement?
A B.
You reckon a B? You'd put the LC-10 higher than the AS Val?
Yeah, because the ammo usage.
Yep.
Ammo usage. The problem is with the ASFL, it's down there for the sheer fact because it cannot slap team. It can slap one person, just not a team.
Yeah. AK-74U Black Ops.
Love it.
It's actually quite a good gun, and it has the highest. It has pretty much the same bullet velocity as a sniper, so you can beam people with it without having to worry about bullet drop. But once again, same argument. How many people are running a custom AK-74U in Warzone right now?
Probably none.
I've never seen one.
Because-
I've never seen a custom.
My thing is, right, you can sit and say what you like Mac 10, FFAR, God guns, right? MP5, A guns. It's not as good as the MP5, so I've got to go for a B.
B, and would you put it above or below the LC-10?
Above the LC10 all the way.
So if you had an LC-10 and an AK-74U on the floor in front of you, you'd go for the AK instead of the LC.
Yep.
Yeah? Cool. That's the same place I'd put it. Striker 45. This is a hard one because I've got a soft spot for this gun because it's one of my favourite Modern Warfare multiplayer guns.
Yeah, I love it. I love it on multiplayer.
But in Warzone, it's terrible.
Yeah, so it's got to go lower than the AS.
Yeah, I mean it's you're shooting marshmallows at the enemy using this. I'd personally put it in a D. I don't think it's as bad as an F, but
nah, it's a tickler in it.
Yeah. And that brings us on to the next gun, the MP7, which is a tickler, but it's also a beamer.
Yep. So it's got to go. I would put it in a B, but I'd put it before the AK-74U.
So second in line, or in front of the AK?
No, I'd go first in line. I'd be top. I cannot see a B gun beating it.
Yeah, I think like back in the first season of Warzone, that was the loadout, M4 and MP7.
Yeah, it was beast. It was beast weapon. But where they've brought Cold War guns in, it's same with the Kilo, and we'll get onto that in a bit. But yeah, just
yeah,
frustrating.
Farah 83.
I love it.
See,
I love it, but it's not a modern Warzone gun, is it?
No, for Warzone, like in zombies and that, it feels really good. In Cold War in general, it feels really good, but I don't think I've actually killed someone with it in Warzone.
I've killed one person with a ground loot one. It's
Yeah.
alright. It's alright. It's it's behind A as well, totally, all the way.
Yeah, just more because as well for like beginner level stuff, the recoil is not friendly.
Nah.
Your first 15 rounds are pretty straight, but after that, if you can control it, hats off to you.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare MP5. Now even that, though it doesn't do as much damage as it used to do, and the time to kill is a bit slower, you don't have to aim down sights to use it.
Nah, push that. It's a pocket laser, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's got to be an S. It's got to be an S.
You'd still put it S?
Oh, all the way. It's just comfy. Even for controller, it's just, I love it.
Yeah.
It's not my go-to at the minute because the Mac is just next level.
But if they tomorrow
actually,
yeah,
I'd put it in A. Yeah, I'd go A.
below the Bullfrog,
It's not above the Bullfrog,
but
in my opinion.
not higher than the Cold War MP5.
Nah, because the Cold War MP5 is stronger.
Yeah. Ah, the Fennec. I have such a Marmite relationship with this gun.
Yep. Yeah.
If you're close to someone and you're within 15 meters, for example, you will absolutely delete someone off of the map. If you have to acquire the target, or they start moving and you start veering off and have to correct, you've dumped your mag. You've dumped it.
Yeah.
You're reloading and standing there like a plonker.
If with a controller, horrible. Horrible.
Ain't much better on mouse and keyboard.
if it's a struggle on mouse and keyboard, it's twice as bad on.
But then when you do hit someone with it, you straight up destroy them, and you get the normal rage mic of what did he hit me with?
I would put it for the sheer fact of controllability. A D.
A D. See, I'd be tempted to see it, but below the Val and Farah.
Yeah, I'd go with that. I'd go with that. Yeah.
I think it's a bottom C.
Yeah.
And I think anything else that goes into the C is probably going to go above it.
Yeah, totally. All the way. It's...
the FN Scar. Now this is a tricky one to place, because stopping power wise, it does slap. It's pretty easy to control the recoil on it.
Yeah.
I'd probably put it in the same league as the Val, in all honesty, because your main problem's that mag size again.
Yeah, of course it is. The problem is, right, if you're playing solos, you run a sniper and an SMG.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's... you don't run... You don't run a pusher class that doesn't slap.
Yeah.
And it doesn't slap enough.
It's another gun where I think if you build it for a bit more like mid-range and you pair it with a sniper in solos, you probably do quite well. Like a Scar and a Kar 98 in solos.
Yeah.
Would probably work. You go above that, let's say trios, you're dead. You might down one person, but then you're dead.
Yeah, totally.
With that, I'd probably put it below the Val in C.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Totally happy.
But higher than the Farah, purely because of that recoil. Yeah, I think that'll work. Modern Warfare AK. Let's be fair, both of the Modern Warfare and Cold War AKs are absolute powerhouses.
But
But, especially on the Modern Warfare AK, even the best build I've ever done for it, which has barely any recoil, but then you sacrifice your ADS, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare to control.
That whatever you do, you either lose ADS time, which don't help you, or you're looking at the ceiling.
Yeah, or you're shooting a silhouette around the guy that you're trying to kill.
Yeah, because you're fighting it all the time. So for me personally, even though it slaps hard, the highest I'd put it is a D.
Yeah, I'd have to say above or below the striker.
Above, because it hits harder.
Yeah, it doesn't shoot marshmallows.
No.
I'm going to say this a lot, but this is a hard one. The Milano.
This one, right? Ground floor loot. I love it.
Ground floor loot.
Ground floor. Yeah,
Banging.
I love it.
Banging. The thing destroys. You build a custom one for Warzone, you will get destroyed.
Yeah.
In Cold War multiplayer, this is the competitive gun.
Yeah.
Call of Duty League, they're all using the Milano.
Yeah.
But we're talking Warzone, not Cold War too much. Unless we haven't used it in Warzone. Custom Milano in Warzone, terrible. Ground loot, good. Would I pick it up over an LC10 or AK-74U?
Yeah, I would.
I probably
That's
would.
ground floor loot. Totally.
Would I pick it up over an MP7? I don't think I would.
No, I'd go for the MP7 all the way.
So we happy with a B tier?
Yeah, I'd go B tier. Because at the end of the day, right, if someone give me a custom Milano and a custom MP7, MP7 all the way.
Yeah. FR556, and we're not talking the one with the shotgun underbarrel attachment, because I don't want to ever have to remember that time again. The code breaker.
Yeah. For a burst weapon, compared to the burst weapons that are out there now, not even in a league.
The funny thing is, on paper, it actually does more damage than the AUG.
Yeah. But
it actually has recoil.
Second burst.
You can't even hit all your bullets of your first burst. If you can hit 2 bullets, you've done well out of your 3.
Yeah, so for me, it's not even worth. It's in it.
But then
What up?
the secret to it, and I was using this I think last week, is to put it in single fire mode and use it like the FAL.
Yeah.
That works pretty well, but it still hasn't got a quick enough time to kill compared to current meta.
No, exactly.
And I hate it. Anytime
Yeah.
I would rather run at an enemy with a pistol out than pick up an FR.
Yeah, same here. I'd put it in troll. Because I don't like it.
It's a troll class weapon.
Yeah.
We have our first troll weapon.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare Uzi.
Ground. It's the same again with the Milano.
Yeah, you kind of custom build it, unless you've got the 45 AE rounds.
Yeah.
They're the only ones that make it worthwhile, and then you've got that really small mag size, which would be great for solos. Custom Uzi 45 AE paired with a Car 98 or SPR. You're laughing.
Yeah.
Ground loot.
So it cannot go any higher than.
I'd potentially.
What do you think?
I'd probably F tier it.
Yeah.
Above the
Put it in front
KSP.
of Yeah, totally. I understand that. Yeah.
Because if those two were on the floor in front of me, I'd definitely pick up the Uzi.
Yeah.
If I had a Uzi, a Striker, and an AK in front of me, I'd pick the AK and Striker over the Uzi.
Yeah, totally. Without a shadow of a doubt. XM4, troll it. It's the only thing I'm going to say about it.
I'm going to argue it. I'm going to argue the XM4.
It don't hit hard enough. It's not a slapper.
I did a build with it the other day, and it wasn't like a super long range beaming build. It was a mid range, 2x scope on it. All the range and that.
The problem is, right? You're talking about it's in between an SMG then and an AR, but it's an AR.
Yeah.
If it can't slap at long range, what's the point of having it?
But I would still rate it higher than the Fennec.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. Yeah, we'll go with that one.
Would I pick up the XM4 or a Farah off of the floor?
I'd go for the Farah.
See, I'd go XM4.
Oh, well,
We'll stick it there. We'll stick it there. Oh, Kilo 141. Here we go. Here we go.
I love it.
We're gonna love experience with this gun.
I've got so much experience with this gun. For me, if they hadn't nerfed it, it'd go S tier all day.
Yeah.
All day.
I think if you asked me 3 months ago, the Kilo would be there.
My gun.
It wouldn't even change.
Gun. Yeah.
How it is now?
Yeah, it's got to go. It's got to be at the end of the S tier.
It's still S tier it because even though they've nerfed it, I still use it as my fully loaded ghost gun.
Yeah, totally.
But only for close to mid range. Anything over that, it's no longer. Don't even bother.
Viable.
No.
Yeah.
PP19 Bison shoots marshmallows. I'm more than happy to F tier it.
Yep, totally.
It's once again multiplayer. One of my favourite guns. It's the gun I've got the highest amount of kills with out of any gun in Modern Warfare multiplayer.
Yeah.
But for Warzone,
no.
Are we going to talk about this one, or are we just going to stick it?
We're just gonna
right
do
there?
it. Just do it.
Right there.
Got to go right there.
I just thought we've put the AUG below the AMAX. Do we want to put the AUG there?
Yeah, because at the minute it's meta, and it's gonna take some serious buffing to make any other gun viable. It's gonna take a big buff and a big nerf to make any gun better.
Yeah, it's just to level the playing field. Like,
yeah,
they've increased the recoil between bursts, which doesn't matter because you just correct your recoil after the first burst, shoot a second one, and your guy's dead. We're talking about the AUG again. Let's get off of the AUG and talk about another AUG. We've got the Modern Warfare AUG, which actually slaps, but it doesn't compete against if you build it like an AR, any other AR is better. If you build it like an SMG, any SMG is better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's however you build it. I won't even put it in that class. I'll just go for a troll because it's not worth using.
There's a troll class. You would rather pick up a KSP 45 over a Modern Warfare AUG.
I don't know. Probably a Modern Warfare AUG top.
So we'd go there.
Yeah.
P90. I've got a thing for the P90, especially my one that shoots pink bullets.
Yeah, but that.
The one thing with the P90 has been consistent throughout all of Warzone.
Yeah, of course. I would put it in a B behind the MP7.
Yeah, I'll work with that. For mag size, default mag size, you don't even have to use an attachment to bring it up to a high amount of bullets. No. It does slap. You can build it so it beams. Yeah, I think B below the MP7. I'd be happy with that. The ISO, or as the community seem to be calling it, the baby Kilo. When this released, it was terrible.
Yeah, it's a bit better.
They have buffed quite a lot of it. I don't think I've actually used it since it's been improved.
Yeah.
but I've seen people
haven't.
use it.
Well, let's put it in with the P90. Between the P90 and the Milano. Yeah, Milano and the AK-74U.
Yeah, stick it there.
Yeah, somewhere there.
Yeah, I think it looks at home there.
Yeah.
Hang on, we got a little checkerboard pattern going on. Yeah, look.
Yeah, yeah,
Near enough. We just need something
near enough.
Black Ops to go in top of B tier. Street Sweeper.
Yeah,
In fact, I'm putting it above the Mac 10, to be fair.
totally,
Yeah.
totally.
I think as a close quarters weapon go, I've never been called a cheater so much as when I used the Street Sweeper.
No, it's just good.
Gallo SA12 as well, I would
Yeah.
still put above the Mac 10, but below the Street Sweeper.
Yeah.
And yeah, those two at the moment are probably going to end up being the meta close quarter guns.
Yeah.
If they nerf the FFAR massively anyway, they become a lot more viable. I don't even want to say the name of that. Here.
Control it.
Yeah, troll it.
Yeah.
Here, 77.
Yeah.
But no, I probably would pick up a Bison over that. Yeah. FFAR can probably live there. In fact, I'd maybe even put it above the AUG because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I like it.
We don't really need to talk too much about that. I'm sure everyone who's played Warzone has experienced the FFAR and knows exactly.
You've been on the receiving end of the.
You've either used it to great effect or you've been spanked by it to great effect. No one thinks the FFAR is an okay gun.
No.
Oh, 725! Here we go! This will be interesting. So obviously you can whack the slug rounds on it and one-shot down someone from 40 meters with a shotgun. Apart from that, it's got 2 shots, which means in quads you can kill 2 people if you're a really good shot.
Personally, compared to some of the other shotguns that are out there, yeah, I'd go troll.
I'd go troll because the thing is you put it on, even when I did it yonks ago, before it was on TikTok and YouTube and everything like that, I used it for 3 games. It was fun for 3 games and I got bored.
Yeah.
And that's purely with the slug rounds, with nothing else. I wouldn't even, if it wasn't for the slug rounds, I'd probably never put that gun on in Warzone.
No.
Origin 12 is now probably one of the worst shotguns.
Yep. Just above the 725 because it's got more bullets.
Yeah. But it's also, its range is stupid. You have to be stood directly in front of them. What do you reckon? Above or below 725?
Above.
Model 680.
The amount of bullets.
Yeah. Model 680 was, like, with Dragon's Breath and everything, was quite fun. But it's a good shotgun. Like, it's a good all-round balanced shotgun.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say there. It's not better than.
I think if there was a choice on the floor between a Bison and the model, I'd probably pick that up. I would pick the model up over everything in the troll tier. It's got to live at the bottom of F. R9. The R9. Which was horrible. Yeah, Dragon's Breath R9, no longer.
I loved it. It was fun.
It was fun. It wasn't fun when you had a crouching row skin in a corner with a R9 with Dragon's Breath rounds, but yeah, it was fun. But even now, as ground loot, if you manage to pick it up and there's someone close quarters, it's still pretty good.
I would put it. Yeah.
Between the
Yeah, I'd
Uzi
put
and
it
the
above-
AUG.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's... Yeah, I'm not sure if it would go above the Uzi. If I had an R9 and an Uzi in the floor, it would really depend on where I was to what one I picked up.
Yeah, of course. But I would probably go for the Uzi for that little bit extra range.
Yeah, I mean, if I was in Superstore offices, I'd pick up the R9. If I was in anywhere else, I'd pick the Uzi.
Yeah, so the Uzi.
Jack 12 is the troll of all troll weapons.
Yep.
Because it's terrible to move with. It's terrible for like actual damage on a person, but the fact with those explosive rounds, and you can just blow a helicopter out the sky and kill a truck in like 8 shots. That's a troll gun. That's a troll gun. Oh, the Odin.
For me, personally, I'd put it behind the R9 because controller, it's the recoil on it's stupid, silly.
See, even with mouse and keyboard, the recoil on it is bad.
It's as bad. I actually, I'd change that. I'd say it's better than the AK.
Yeah, it's also got a lot more stopping power.
Yeah, but I wouldn't go no higher than that.
No. No, I think... Yeah, I think a higher D is going to be right. Well, I know where you're going to want to put this. So, the foul. Put it there?
No, I don't. Don't actually. I'll say an A.
Let's say an A.
But yeah, behind the ramp. Because is it better than that? But probably behind the MP5.
But then if you do build it like an SMG and you just hip fire spam it.
Yeah, but it's not an SMG though, is it? It's a problem. I like using guns for what they are.
Yeah.
If I'm going to use an SMG, I'm going to use an SMG. I'm not going to build an AR because it's not as comfortable. You haven't got the movement speed that you get.
Yeah, I'll give it that. So below the Cold War MP5, above the Modern Warfare MP5.
Yep.
M4A1. I mean,
I've got
that gun is good. Like,
yeah.
You build it for super long range, it's good. You build it for like mid to long, it's good. You build it for close, it's good.
Yeah, it's an all-around gun. It's got to be up there with a kilo.
I would, in the current state of the kilo, I'd put it above the kilo.
Yeah.
I'd let it live there, and
yeah,
because if I had a fully kitted out M4 in front of me or a fully kitted out kilo, the kilo's
the M4.
Yeah, the kilo's going to be more accurate, but the M4 is going to have much more damage potential.
Yep.
And range.
I'm happy.
This has got to be a troll gun. I'm sorry, the VLK Rogue is.
Yeah.
If there's.
It's not even worth talking.
But is it as much of a troll gun as the Jack 12?
No, in front of it.
Yeah, I think the Jack 12 is more of a troll gun purely for the explosive rounds.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
But then, would I pick up a VLK over an Origin?
Yeah, I would.
I don't know, yeah. RPD. I like the RPD.
I like it.
I wouldn't choose to run it in Warzone with a custom build.
No.
But I will always pick the ground loot one.
I've not seen a build. I use it as a ground war loot. To me, it's the same as I'd pick a stoner over it, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah. I don't almost. I'd almost put
Go
it
on.
with the Odin and the AK.
Yeah, I was about to say that because the recoil on it is just silly.
Yeah,
That-
maybe a high D.
Yeah, yeah, it's better. I'd pick it over the AK and the Odin. So,
Yeah, if I had all of D tier on the floor in front of me, I would pick the
Yeah.
RPD up as the current ground loot as it is in front of all of those.
Yeah.
Ah, the growl.
Growl has got to be an A. It's got to be.
It still
gotta be.
beams. I
Yeah.
would probably put it at the low A,
Yeah.
because I don't feel I would. If there was a Ram 7 and the growl in front of me, I'd choose the Ram 7.
Yeah, totally. Without a shadow of a doubt, it is all them other guns in front of it.
Yeah. If it was back in the growl days, that would be here.
Yeah.
I think a low A probably works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'd pick it over an MP7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. M60.
It's
It's
flat.
fun. It's fun. But it's not
Yeah.
good.
No. it's just
I think any LMG is just fun. The fact you can stick 100 rounds odds on something and just fire
yeah.
and not worry about it. But if you miss those 100 shots, and if you miss those 100 shots, there's something wrong with you, and you have to stay there and reload.
I would put it behind the buys.
Behind the Bison?
Yeah, because I'd rather pick a Bison up.
I'd rather pick a Bison up, and I'd have the mobility with that. But if there was a
Yeah.
model and an M60 in front of me, I'd pick up the M60.
Yeah.
Stoner 63 has got to be in the run-ins for meta somewhere.
Yeah, because the ground war loot is so good. I'd pick that over every single. I wouldn't put it that high.
I would
In front-
probably...
Yeah, somewhere there. I'm quite happy with it there because the amount of time I use it as ground war.
Yeah. I'd choose it over a Growl, I'd choose it over a Bullfrog, I'd choose it... Would I? I don't think I would choose it over a Modern Warfare MP5.
No, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's more of a... That's an experience thing more than anything. Just because I've used the Modern Warfare MP5 so much, I know what
Yeah.
to expect. I know what engagements to take, I know when to back out. The
Yeah.
Stoner is still new-ish to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that. Holger 26. Which is actually quite a good gun, but it's just never used.
It's got a bit. Oh. Where would I? It's got to be between the LC10 and the ASVAL. Personally.
Yeah. So a high C.
Yeah. What would you think?
I was going to put it maybe behind the LC10 as a low B.
Yeah.
Only
I was on the fence.
yeah, the only thing that's swinging it for me is ammo capacity.
Yeah, because them guns in that have not got the ammo.
Yeah, ASVAL hasn't got the ammo, Scar hasn't got the ammo, Farah's just a bit yeah, XM4's a bit meh, and the Fennec is just, it has the ammo capacity, but it also fires that ammo in half a second.
Yeah.
Groza, I think next meta. I think that's got to be...
That's going to be next meta.
I,
But it's not meta as it stands.
it's still pretty good. One of the barrels is broken on it at the moment.
Yeah.
I would still maybe run a Mac 10 over it.
Yeah, I'd run a Mac 10 over it, but put it in front of the M4 and the Kilo, because it's got
Yeah.
that slap and range.
I'd go with that. Yeah, because
Yeah.
there's a barrel that's broken on it, which basically gives it 100% bullet velocity, so it has no damage fall off over any range.
Yeah.
The good old Bruin.
It's got to be head of the growl.
I think ahead of the Growl.
Yeah.
Would I put it? I'd probably pick up a Bullfrog over it at the moment, to be honest.
Yeah.
Even though it's not as bad as when they first nerfed it, there's quite a lot of people using it again.
Yeah.
MG34.
Troll.
That's a troll gun. I don't even want to talk about the MG34. M91 was quite good as ground loot.
Yeah.
Not the best, but if it was there, it would be good over nothing.
Yeah. I'd pick it over the Jack. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think below the RPD. If I had an RPD and an M91 on the ground in front of me, the RPD wins.
Yeah.
If I had an Odin or an M91, the Odin would lose. Yeah. Okay. Are we happy with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Well, we're so far it's getting quite nice and full. It seems pretty evenly spread.
Yeah.
PKM. See, this is a straight beamer. It's slow, like really, really slow, and it doesn't even fit on the screen when you show people your build.
Yeah.
But as a beaming weapon, if you're not amazing at movement and stuff in the game, and you want to stand and just beam someone, you've got 150 rounds to beam someone with. You
I
okay?
think it loses up to the M91.
Loses to the M91.
It beams, don't get me wrong, but the problem is when you're not going to stand in the middle, you're not going to stand still and shoot. It beams right, but you cannot stop that. If you've got someone to your left and to your right, you're dead, because you're going to kill the one to your left and the one to the right before you've even got close to him to move on him. That's it.
Even on mouse and keyboard, there's no way you can snap to someone with a PKM quicker than you can get mowed down. Especially with the AUG and FFAR meta at the moment, it's pointless. SA-87, it is a good gun, but it's an LMG with barely any mag size.
Yeah. It's a troll, but it's ahead of the Jack.
Yeah, but it is British Army,
because
isn't it? I'd maybe put it as a low F above the model.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It's not quite a troll gun, but it's not the worst in the game.
No.
The Finn, the M13 of the LMG world.
The only cool thing about it is the chainsaw.
You've got the chainsaw attachment that makes it nearly as viable as the Mach 10. You've got the fact that it has no recoil. Like, even if you don't control any recoil, that gun is just user friendly.
Yeah.
The downside is you have to hit him with twice as many bullets as you would any other gun.
It's got more. I would put it in front of the Farah. See.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd put it there.
Yeah.
Because if it had a bit more stopping power, that would be high. That would be up in the high Bs or low As.
Yeah, totally. Without.
M16 is like the semi-meta with the AUG.
Yeah.
I'd maybe put it below the AMAX.
Yeah. The AMAX is more.
AMAX is so much more rewarding and fun.
Yeah.
The M16 is really good if you're the kind of person who likes to pop at people from a distance. The AUG isn't as great from that really long range, but it handles mid to long really well. But the M16, the bullet grouping of it is tight.
Yeah.
DMR. Once again, if this was 2 months ago,
it would be better.
Yeah. How it is now,
I'm struggling with it.
Yeah, I don't know where to put it because
I'm looking at guns and what I'd pick up over it. And so far I've got to the R9.
Yeah. I'd maybe put it above the Modern Warfare AUG and below the R9.
Yeah.
Because
that's where
I think if there's a DMR and an AUG on the floor, DMR. If there was a KSP and a DMR on the floor, DMR. If there was a Bison on the floor and a DMR, DMR.
Yeah.
Even though it's not as strong as it used to be, I would then put the Type 63 next to it.
Yeah, because they're one and the same.
They're pretty much the same. They receive the same buffs and the same nerfs, so it's... Krieg 6 is a weird one.
Yeah, because I want it to be a good gun. It's one of the guns I want to be good.
It's very inconsistent. There's times I'll pick it up off the ground and I'll absolutely destroy with it, no issue at all. And there's other times I pick it up and it's like my bullets are disappearing.
Yeah.
And like you're emptying half a clip into someone and you're not even getting a break and it's, really? And then you hit someone else with it and it's like 4 bullet beam down.
Yeah. You've got to have the perfect build.
Yeah. And I don't think the recoil is very user friendly either for like newer players.
No, it's not a newer player gun at all. And I think they've done a really poor with the battle pass. I think what they did compared to if you look at the AUG with its reactive camo, and the Krieg, it's just a poor showing.
I would be tempted to put it below the Farah but above the XM4.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think I'd pick a Krieg up over a Finn.
No.
But I would definitely pick up a Krieg over a Fennec.
Yeah.
Oh, SPR. Sniping time. Oh, we got some snipers coming. Here we go. Okay, SPR is actually a banging sniper once you can get used to it. That would easily be a low A sniper for me.
Yeah, totally.
It's
with that one.
Yeah, it's a little bit slower than the Car 98. But it is pretty good on bullet velocity.
Yeah, Car 98 for me is, at the minute, as it stands, sniper.
I think Car 98 would probably go S tier.
Yeah, totally.
I would probably put it above the Kilo.
Yeah. I'd put it above the M4 as well. For the sheer fact, and the Groza, for the sheer fact that if I'm going for a long range gun, I'm taking the car.
Yeah, Car 98 is banging. It is good fun.
Yeah.
Troll. Yeah, Troll. That's the most trolly of troll guns, possibly. Mark II carbine.
Yeah.
It's not quite a troll gun, because you have to actually be good to use it to actually hit and kill enemies, but it's not viable whatsoever.
DBR shoots marshmallows on Warzone.
It does, but you remember that blueprint which had it as a one-shot down?
Oh yeah, one headshot down.
Yeah, man. it's not. Yeah, it's not that anymore.
No.
So I'd put that above the carbine, but not.
Yeah, because you can fire more bullets.
Yeah, at least you can spam it.
Yeah, that's it.
SKS is actually quite nasty. An SKS with stopping power rounds is a 2-shot down anywhere on the body.
Yeah, but the thing is, I haven't looked at none of these other guns with stopping power.
No.
So I've looked at them as we build it. It's got to go above the carbine.
Yeah, above the carbine,
For
below
the
the
amount of
EBR.
bullet.
Or
Yeah.
above the EBR, because you
No,
can
above the
spam it.
EBR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pellington. If we're talking ground loot, this is the worst gun in the game. I
Yeah.
would much rather use my fists.
Yeah. So it's got the only gun I'd rather use over. I'd put it near the FR.
But if we're talking
think that's
custom
alright.
builds, if we're going to talk a custom build on the Pellington, it's nearly as good as the Car 98.
But the bullet drops are too bad.
Compared to the Car 98, yes. But then the ground loot one.
I'd put it in front of the probably behind the Krig.
Behind the Krig?
Yeah.
The thing is with the ground loot one, sometimes your bullets just disappear. Well, it feels like it. It's like your crosshair is on the guy's head.
Yeah, and it just don't see the bullet.
He's 50 meters away, your crosshair is on his head, and the bullet doesn't even hit him.
Yeah.
Tundra is easily becoming...
That's your gun.
Yeah, I'm liking the Tundra. And they've just buffed all of the Cold War snipers as well.
Yeah.
So I would put that in league with the Car 98. They're about equal.
Yeah.
M82, I feel, is going to be quite a fun troll gun.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. That's what we were both talking about. That's going to be one of them guns. Yeah.
I don't think it's ever going to be meta. I don't think it's ever going to be viable. But I think for shits and giggles, I've just said a word, it's going to be fun. 3 times scope on it, spam.
Yep.
AX50, there's a lot of AX50 fans that are probably going to watch this and hate me.
And me.
Because I would put that below...
The only worst sniper to me in this game is Dragonite.
Yeah, I mean, that's going right at the bottom.
Yeah, I'd rather have a crossbow than a Dragonite.
The thing is, I find with the AX50, it feels good, it looks nice. But either you hit someone and you don't break them.
Yeah.
Or the bullet drop is too extreme.
Yeah. Just silly.
It's called a GBZ on here, but in the game it's a QBZ, so we'll go with Q.
Yep.
Easily one of the worst stat guns in all of Warzone.
Yep.
Do I hate it more than the AX50?
Yes.
I think so. HDR.
No, see, I'm going to argue. I'd put it in front of the SPR. Because it's been nerfed that much. It's no fun.
Yeah, it doesn't feel as good as it used to.
No.
And I guess when you compare it to if you're in a snipe fight with a mid-range sniper fight with a Car 98 and a HDR, the speed you can get the shots off with the Car 98 and get your ADS and movement down.
Yeah. I've shot twice, and I've hit you with one before. I've got you beamed in with H.
Would I put the HDR above a Growl though? I think personally, if I was choosing my class and I've got one with a HDR on it and one with a Growl, I'd probably grab it over the Growl class.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard, isn't it? Because it's not even in my loadouts no more.
I've got one
Because
class with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you go back into the first season of Warzone, I've got a HDR and I've got a Ram 7,
Yeah.
and that's me, slaying out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you happy with it there?
Yep, I'm happy with it there.
We don't even need to talk about this one.
Nope.
It can go there, it can go below the crossbow, in my opinion.
Yep, totally.
That definitely as well.
Yep, because that was the biggest disappointment going.
It looks so cool, and
Yeah,
it's going in the troll class rather than the F purely because of the thermite and explosive rounds. That is a troll gun.
Yeah.
Dragunov has gone in troll because that's the kind of challenge that gets set to you on Twitch. I'm going to choose your loadout. You've got a Dragunov and a riot shield.
Yeah, exactly, totally.
Black Ops Magnum is actually pretty beastly at the moment.
But
I don't know.
I just don't. I don't like mag. I'd put it behind the AK.
Behind the AK. So you'd put it there.
Yeah.
Because that's the new thing at the moment. It's a 2-hit down. If you have akimbo magnums and you hit both your trigger pulls, you've got a down.
Yeah. It's yeah.
I'll stick it there. We might change it by the end. 1911 is terrible.
Yeah. Yep.
DMRE, I don't like the whole akimbo pistol things, so it would be...
No. But I would run it quite happily over. Nah. Can't do that to me. Can't do that to me. I'd put it behind the scar.
That high?
You see me the other week, right?
Yeah, I'll give you that,
No,
actually.
I picked that up and downed 2 people with it as a single weapon. It's the movement speed you've got on it.
Yeah.
Not a bad slapper.
I think I'm just biased against the whole pistol and akimbo pistol thing.
Yeah, I'm not looking at it as a akimbo. I won't run it as akimbo. It's not gonna akimbo.
M19. I've never seen anyone run an M19 in Warzone.
Nope.
I mean, I'd probably even put it below the 1911.
Yeah, it's an argument. If you could put them on top of each other, that's where they'd go.
Yeah. They're just...
it don't matter which order they go in because they're both the same.
50 GS. The baby sniper of the pistol class.
Yep. Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you put on it. Once again, it's that argument. If I want to argue multiplayer, banging.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun on multiplayer. It's one of them ones you pick up and have a laugh with. Just run around on shipment, blast. You know, other than that.
X16. Which is a weird one. Yeah, I mean, obviously you drop in with it. It's your drop-in gun, but
yeah, I'd put it behind a Magnum.
Put it behind the Magnum there.
Yep. Yeah.
1911 Modern Warfare. It would go above the Black Ops 1911, but not above the GFs.
Yes.
F's looking rather full.
Yeah. There's a lot of guns that don't work in.
Yeah. Black Ops AK, I would put above maybe the Odin.
Yeah.
Although they're quite similar, the recoil is the Black Ops AK is a straight beamer for the first 20 rounds of your bag.
Yeah, once you pass that.
So if you can burst 20, stop, burst 20, you've got quite a good gun. But yeah, it's not like the Modern Warfare AK where you shoot 3 bullets and you're looking at the sun.
No.
357 Magnum, I despise. I hate that gun.
Yeah, it just don't feel right.
Renetti,
Yeah, it's an argument. It's in league with the 50 and it not got the power, so it's behind it.
yeah.
But it's got the recoil. You know, it swings around about it.
And then you've obviously got the burst mode attachment for it, and yeah, I mean, maybe above the GS purely because of that burst attachment.
Yeah.
RPG, I mean, RPG is a troll gun. The M79 is a troll gun.
Yep.
Sigma 2.
That's rubbish.
Yeah, I mean it locks on.
Oh yeah, it's the Strela in it that's not very good.
Yeah, the Strela's the one with the really tight arc on it.
Yeah. The Strela's. Any RPG is fun.
I mean, really, all the RPGs are probably going to end up in F or Troll.
Yeah. The Joker's got to be a troll.
Yeah, Joker's a troll. But but it's great, for example, on Big Bad in downtown.
Yeah.
If you've got a team on the roof.
The amount of places good for.
Yeah, I'd probably leave it in Troll.
Yeah.
Strela. Is it worse than the Dragunov?
No.
No.
I believe the Dragunov was. That and the crossbow. The argument between that, the Rytec, and the crossbow.
Yeah, I think if I was doing this for trolling purposes, I would definitely troll with a Strela over a crossbow, Rytec, or Dragunov.
Yeah, without a shadow of
RPG, normal RPG.
Yeah.
Yeah, same as that, innit? Riot Shield.
The troll gun of the game, isn't it?
Yep. M13 Marshmallow Shooter AR.
It's not even worth looking.
But
people have got on with it. I just don't see the point.
See, for me personally, I've had some really good kills with it.
Yeah.
It's got the least damage drop off out of every AR.
I would put it in front of the XM.
You go there.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I get that.
And all these up to the Calis are literally just personal preference.
I think all of the melee weapons, you're not running a melee weapon if you're not trolling someone.
No.
There's no practical reason.
Yeah, not so. Yeah, I don't.
I mean, just for principle, they're all going to go above the Dragunov.
Yep, because. And the sledgehammer's got to go first because it's a sledgehammer. I mean.
Yeah, sledgehammer. E-tool is going at the bottom because it's the slowest melee weapon out of all of them.
Yeah.
But it's still above the Dragunov.
Yeah, the only thing I'd put behind that really matters behind the sledgehammer is the Calis.
Yeah. I'd maybe even put the Cali sticks in.
Yeah, the only reason the Cali sticks beat is because it's quicker.
Yeah. Dukajaches, they can go. They're in league with the Cali sticks.
Yeah.
Me? Yeah, here we go.
I love it.
I do. I love that 2-shot initial burst with the extra damage and everything.
Yeah.
Recoil on extended shots is a bit rough.
But I enjoy it. I use controller, so to me, it's up there. It's better than the Growl. I think it's better than the Growl.
I'd even go as far as better than the Bruin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go.
Happy with that.
I'd go there.
Yeah.
We've done it.
Yeah, I can't see.
So, any final refinements?
Yeah.
What we
For
thinking?
the Ram 7
Mhm.
between the M4 and the Kilo, as it stands.
Yes, my baby's made it to S tier. Yeah.
Other than that, I think we're on point.
So we've established the FFAR and the Olga at the top because they're meta. They're all viable meta weapons.
Yep.
And the Dragunov is still the worst in the game.
Totally.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for jumping in with me and running
That's
through
all right,
this long list. We've
Yep.
been recording for 1 hour and 12 minutes.
Are we gonna have a game?
Yeah, man.
Jumping in.